Okay, in this story, we narrated the Kashi story of a few kids, and then we narrated the story of Hanuman going to find Sita. What are some of the similarities that you saw in these? Yeah, Ridhima, loud.
Both of the stories had like a main goal.
Wonderful. Yeah.
And both of the stories had obstacles which the protagonists had to go encounter.
Overcome. Yeah. Obstacles. Yeah.
Both of the stories showed that there was this one person who showed determination and never like gave in to any obstacles or distractions.
Yeah. You have anything? No? Krishna, you have anything? Any similarities did you find?
Not one striking similarity between Anil and then Hanuman was that they both did not lose their sight to some small addiction.
That's a good observation. You know, there is one name for Hanuman, Anila Kumar. Anila Kumara Bala Buddhi Vidya Dehu Mohi. So Anil means a wind god. Anil Kumar means Vayuputra. So he is Anil Kumar. Okay, good. Anything else? Okay, let's dissect this story into slight pieces and try to understand. I will say one contradiction, that Hanuman could, if he wants to, he can grow up to 100 yojanas. He could have grown to 100 yojanas and leapt over the ocean, be done with it. But he was flying like a little bird. And then when he encountered Surasa, then he played the game of increasing to 10. He opened the mouth 10. He increased it to 20, opened the mouth 20, 30, 30, 40, 40, 50, 50, 60, 60, 70, 70, 80, 80, 90, 90, 100, 100. And then he shrunk into a fly size, like a thumb size, went into the mouth and came back. Doesn't that sound kind of probably far-fetched? Of course, how can people grow their size? Right? Can you see any similarity between this and any of the characters in the previous story? Yeah?
So Hanuman, he was basically like going through all the distractions and all the obstacles and not giving into them. And then the four kids in the story, they all were taking the path. They were just going straight directly to the stop sign. They were all going into distractions, but then only a few of them were able to come back onto the distraction, and eventually Anil was the one who made it.
That's true, but I was particularly asking growing the body to bigger and bigger sizes, but then shrinking it.
Maybe related to ego?
Yeah?
Ego?
Yeah, you can think of ego. It's actually adult question for adults also.
I think personally I feel like everyone is capable of so many things. I think in that case Hanuman can do whatever things he wants to do. I think there's something to do with the capability, I guess.
Yeah, I think you got closer, and also you got a little bit closer. So the idea is Surasa is called Nagamata. Su means good, Rasa means essence, Trupti, etc. And there are so many great things prescribed to us. For example, doing puja in the morning, doing yoga in the morning, pranayama in the morning, and doing parayanam in the morning, doing havan. Like that, you can take all the good deeds and you can fill your entire life with it. But always forgetting the sight, end sight. So the purpose of Hanuman taking a leap and finding Sita is the ultimate highest purpose of life. We talked about Sita Rama Kalyana, and I mentioned what Sita is. Sita is that supreme nature within us, which is unbound by any of the things that happen in the world. It's basically, we call that Parashakti, Paraprakriti. So the supreme nature and the supreme power and all that. So his job is to find her and unite her with Rama. That means if there is a spiritual practitioner embarking on this great journey of finding out the supreme nature, the supreme power within, and unite that with the all-pervading Brahman, it's a gigantic task. A lot of people think that they can't even do it. It's not even possible. They don't even know whether supreme power exists or not. They don't even know whether this divine being exists or not. So you have to take things on a faith and trust, and you have to embark on that journey. In that journey, there are so many good activities like discipline activities, and practicing swadharma is there. Practicing all the good deeds that you want to do the world of good, great volunteer works, great service that you can to provide. You can fill your entire life with it. And the ocean represents your life. That life is 100 yojanas. And Hanuman has the potential to grow to all 100 yojanas. That means he can fill up every activity of his life with all these great good things. But that will take you away from the purpose. So, growing to the small size of Angushta means you will do absolute necessary and be done with it. What is absolutely necessary to maintain this body is what a spiritual practitioner should do. But whereas in the story of Kashi going, there was one that stopped with a monk. Monk said, you need to prepare yourself. And he started teaching martial arts because they are going to the forest, there could be a lion attacking you. That's how all the martial arts developed. Do you know that? These Buddhist monks were traveling from here to China, from here to India to Sri Lanka, like that, all over the place. So they could encounter a bunch of thieves trying to rob them. They could be encountered with a tiger or a lion trying to attack. So that's how they developed their martial arts, how to tackle with all these enemies. So that's what he was trying to teach, yoga techniques and all these. So this person got so much interested in martial arts and just stayed there. Forgot the goal, right? He filled his entire life with good habits, good things to do and all that. He forgot, if a Buddhist monk, their ultimate realization is go to Buddha level, the Bodhisattva level. And they forgot and they started learning karate and starting a new karate school and preparing karate kids. It doesn't really help, right? So in the same way, if you have a well-set goal, you can distract yourself by doing lots of good stuff. You have an exam to prepare, but then you decided to organize the home, vacuum the home, clean the bathroom, all this stuff, folding the clothes, everything. And then you lost sight of your goal. Then that's dangerous, right? So that is one of the things you have to understand really. You can fill your life with lots and lots of good tasks, but lose the primary goal of your life, primary goal that you are going on. So what is the best way to deal with it? You do what is absolutely necessary. That's it. That is like becoming like a little Angushta size. Angushta means body maintenance level. So in the spiritual story, it is the body maintenance level. You do all the good deeds as much as you require to maintain the body. And then all the goals, all your pursuit was to find out the Supreme. Right? That's the story. Okay. So now I rendered a lot of explanation here. But any other questions? Any other?
What does the shadow represent?
So there are so many hidden things within us. There are hidden desires. Why did the last fellow succumb to, that intoxication or the mattu, like the kind of slumber that these drugs offered? Why did he succumb to it? Tamoguna. Why did he succumb to it?
Rahu Maya. Simhika is mother of Rahu.
Yeah, because he has some kind of a connection, orientation for pleasure. He wants pleasure, he wants to just enjoy, relax. Yeah?
To enjoy worldly pleasures.
Enjoy the worldly pleasures, yeah? That. So enjoy the worldly pleasures. For example, you set a big goal, okay? Whatever goal that is. And then suddenly you thought that, oh, I've been working so hard, I want to just eat chips and sit next to the TV for the rest of the time. So then you forgot the goal and you started enjoying all the pleasures in the world. That can happen. A lot of people are there. A lot of people went to medical school. I know a friend who went to medical school, want to become a doctor. But then during the medical school, he was having lots of fun with friends. They were drinking and merrymaking, going to parties and all that stuff. And finally he failed in all the subjects and he was thrown out of the medical school. He was useless because he couldn't delay gratification. So delaying of gratification for the great purpose is a very important thing. If we can delay gratification, you know what happens? Simhika, that is Chayagrahi, holding us by our own shadow. So our shadow is coming, all our negativity, the negative personality that we have is coming like a shadow.
What about the daughter of Hiranyakashipu?
Holika.
Yeah,
No, the other Simhika.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that is a tormentor. So her tormentation comes because of the connection that we have with our desire. If we have desires, Simhika will torment you. If we don't have these desires for personal comforts and all these short-term pleasures and all these things, Simhika cannot do anything. So that is our shadow. It will capture that shadow. Yeah?
The person who gave up to those.
Loud.
So the person who gave up to those drug type things is kind of like Hiranyakashipu.
Not like Hiranyakashipu, but a person who always want to be in some kind of pleasure mode. Always pleasures.
Watching TV all the time,
Yeah.
or
All
wanting
the-
to watch something,
all the time
wasting
pleasure.
time.
Yeah. So there are a lot of people in the world that they, what is it for me? What am I getting? I'm not getting, I have enough fun, I deserve it. They complain all these things. They are the first ones to fail from their goals. Okay? Any other questions? Yeah?
So you said Surasa is the mother of all snakes, right?
All Nagas.
All Nagas. So Nagas are snakes?
Yeah, we think of them that way. But you know how the word Naga came? Naga can be broken down to Na plus Aga. Okay? And Aga can be broken down again to A plus Ga. A means opposite. An. Ga. Ga means movement. So Ga means movement. And Ga also indicates knowledge also. All movement root words, all root words of Sanskrit that indicate movement, they also indicate jnana, knowledge. Anyway, so the Ga is movement. Aga means something that does not move. That's why we call mountains Aga. Nagam, we say sometimes. Naga or Aga are same. But Na Aga, what does that mean?
No movement.
Something that cannot stay without moving.
No.
And no movement is movement.
Yeah. So constant movement. Something aga. Now if we take aga, it means nischala state. Nischala means stable, steady state. Something that keeps you all the time disturbing from that steadiness, from that stable state is naga. So basically nagas is another word for karma, action that constantly drives us. But we said she is Dakshayani, Kasyapa's wife and all that.
Isn't it Kadru? Or,
There is Kadru too.
yeah.
We'll come to Kadru story next time. So Kadru also gave something like snakes. Why do you need two wives to give birth to a bunch of snakes? Right?
In my
So-
opinion, Kadru is just evil.
Yeah. So we'll come to Kadru again. So but Naga means action. Relentless, endless activity. But Surasa, her name is Surasa, indicating something good. Su. They did not use any bad word to indicate her. So that means activities that give you a good feeling at the end that you have done something good. It will give you some satisfaction. If you do lots of yoga, it gives a lot of satisfaction. You go for a hike, it gives a lot of satisfaction. Yeah.
So, didn't all of Daksha's daughters marry Chandra?
Not all of them. He had 60 daughters, 27 to Chandra, 13 to Kasyapa Prajapati, and 10 to Dharma, like that. And Sati was married by Shiva, and so on. So there are 60 of them given to various different people. So anyway, coming back here. So Surasa means something that gives us good happiness or good trupti, satisfaction, or any of those things at the end. So that means it represents all good deeds. Nagas represent good deeds prescribed by Vedas, prescribed by Shruti, so all kind of Puranas, Itihasas, by gurus. So, but there are so many of them. You can fill the whole world with Surasa activities. But would that serve your purpose?
No.
Would you be able to accomplish your goal? No. This is where you need mati, intelligence. You have to make a proper decision. How much do I need of this? So you should never blow up good activities to fill your entire life. Right? Yeah. Any other questions?
So one question I have is like what is that Simhika, right? Simhika. So Hanuman actually goes and destroys the dark shadow, right? So basically, I mean, when you as the reader read that, right, so, or understand that, so are we like, how do we internalize that? Like, so is it like you worship Hanuman and take out the dark, or you accept your own dark? Like, I mean, like in terms of story.
That's a good question. We can worship Hanuman, Buddhir Balam Nishodhairyam Nirbhayatvam Arogata Ajadyam Vakpatutvancha Hanuman Smaranat Bhavet. Okay, all those things are there. But worshipping doesn't really do anything unless we really understand what we are worshipping and taking the qualities into us. So the way to destroy this Simhika or a Chayagrahi, Chayagrahi means it represents that you will not even know that you were grabbed by it. Because we have some negative tendencies within us. It could be negative thinking, depression, those kind of things. Or it could be negative personality that we have, a dark personality, want to go always into partying, enjoying, sense pleasures, those kind of things.
Partying, enjoying is tamogunam. It's not the Simhika.
No, it can grab from there. So
Yeah.
everything
Actual
that follows.
Yeah, actual Simhika is Maya. Thinking of something that's not is there. I mean, you have a different image of yourself, which is not true. You misunderstand yourself. That is Maya.
You can think of it that way too. So when
But I think one relevant point, the reason I asked that question is because I read there is a philosopher called Carl Jung.
Mhm.
So he is a Swiss psychologist.
yeah,
So
or- yeah.
he said like you accept the dark of you, then you become a complete person. So it's sort of like you embrace what you are. So it's sort of like, I mean, I know
You accept that you have a shadow.
Yeah. Sundarakanda is also
A mind
But you
science.
don't let that consume you.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
actually, the Sundarakanda in another way is like your own journey through enlightenment, right? So you cross multiple stages and go there to the where Rama is there in your heart. So I'm sort of like trying to marry, like, where is the connection between these two approaches?
Psychology.
Yeah.
So Carl Jung's lot of psychological theories and a lot of psychology that we know today is incomplete. It's totally incomplete. Actually, I have one student who attends my satsangs. She's a psychologist. She treats and one day a discussion came like there is so much psychology in this. And she said, I have never understood psychology in the way you are teaching us and you are helping us understand. It is only partial.
Yeah.
So if you accept that negative side within us, following Jung's, then you are leaving a handle for the Maya to play.
Take over.
So if you think of Simhika as the Maya,
So one point is the way I sort of like get that difference is, so Maya is there, I understand that on the outside, but unless you recognize, there is something in you that actually identifies with Maya, right? So for example, I like to eat biryani.
Yeah.
So there is something in me wanting biryani. So if, for example, if I'm having a medical condition, I cannot eat rice or any other issue, then I won't even attempt. So there is something in us which actually goes inside. So as even like the Vishishtadvaita, right? So there is some inside and there is outside, Pindandam and Brahmandam. So in the same way, there is also a negative aspect I personally feel, which sort of like, you have a dark and there is a dark outside.
Yeah, it is definitely true. There is that negative thing. So let me finish the answer,
Sure, sorry,
then you can
sorry,
ask
sorry,
a follow-up
sorry, yeah.
question. So the darkness or the negativity within us is so deeply hidden. And we have to find the marmam. So the way Hanuman killed the Simhika is he went and he ripped apart the, I said heart and all these things. They are called marmani. So in Sundarakand it says marmanyutkramya. So he pulled out, ripped apart all the marmam, the secret aspects of it. So similarly for our dark side also there are secret aspects. There are several secret aspects. Sometimes we maintain secrecy for our darker qualities. There is some secrecy there. So one way to deal with that is don't keep that secret. Share it with a guru or share it with the Lord that I have these secret hidden things within me. So please save me from that. You can do that. Or most importantly, it is to understand what is the source of that negativity within us. Most of the time, the source of the negativity is nothing other than a desire. There is a deep desire or a deep fear. Fear and a desire. These are the last ones that will fall. So nobody will be able to overcome them. We have heard so many stories. So therefore, we have to really tackle that desire aspect and the fear aspect. We have to develop courage over and over by addressing that. In the story, it looks like Hanuman just went and ripped apart and he went away. But that particular aspect of conquering fear, conquering desire, probably will take a lifetime. So some people succumb to this type of obstacle, like Simhika type obstacle. But some people succumb to a Surasa type obstacle. Some people succumb to a Mainaka style obstacle. So you have to find out what kind of obstacle do I often fall to. So
Automatic habits have to be observed.
Yeah. So some people have the strength that, if somebody come and praise me, I don't really give a big deal about it. That won't distract me. So I can easily tolerate that. But if somebody comes and waves a whiskey bottle in front of me, there you go. Some people know who they are, what their weaknesses are, what their strong points are. So you have to, of course, play the strong points, and you have to tackle the weak points by addressing the root cause. So marmanyutkramya means address the root cause of your weaknesses. That's what it means. But if you accept it, that is only part of the problem. You say that you recognize that you have it, but it doesn't absolve us from eliminating it. We still have to work on eliminating that.
The word acceptance is widely misunderstood. Acceptance is not embracing it. Acceptance means understanding that yes, there is a problem, right? And now this problem should not bother me much. That is called acceptance. Embracing means yes, I have this problem. I will live with this problem. I will
romance with it.
I will romance with it. I will enjoy this more. This is me. I cannot live without whatever alcohol or whatever example that is. So let me drink alcohol and then come back to this. Let me satisfy that muzzle. That's what many people understand for acceptance. That's not what it means. Accepting is yes, I have this problem, and now I have also a way, because I'm going deeper. I'm trying to find out what the root cause of this problem is, and then I will conquer it.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Yeah, I think if you truly understand, basically, even the thought itself won't conquer you. Because staying present probably. I mean, there are theoretical constructs, but I think once someone experiences it, then I think it's a different person.
Yeah.
It's true.
That's nice. Any other questions? Shall we try to memorize this sloka? We'll say it a few times. Yeah, Krishna, go ahead.
Perhaps torment would be more associated with Rajoguna, because Rajoguna is even though, I mean, this is how I view it. Tamoguna, it's surasa because Simhika. Simhika, it just drags you in and you don't even know that you're falling into the pit. But you don't suffer while you're falling into the pit. But in Rajoguna, Tamoguna is like slow poisoning, but Rajoguna, it's like immediate poisoning. So is Simhika more associated with Rajoguna?
No, it is associated with Tamoguna. You have to be more alert to it because it is dark. It is playing by all your dark side and negative side. It is grabbing you by your shadow, not by your leg or hand or anything. An enemy that you cannot see. This is what you should be really careful about, watchful about. And only capable people, Dakshyam, only capable people will be able to recognize and eliminate that type of an enemy. It is easy to eliminate a Surasa type of enemy. If you have intelligence and if you study scriptures, you understand, develop understanding, you have good network, you can eliminate that. Those are easy. The hard one is something that is lurking underneath your feet that you don't even notice. It will suck you.
But one life lesson that I learned is to become Hanuman is the final goal of my salvation. He's unreachable, totally. But then we are all Viswamitras, right? Yes, we fall into the trap. Yes, Simhika grabbed us many times so far. Sometimes we got lucky with Surasa also.
Anger is one of them.
Yeah, so we did get grabbed by Simhika many times. We are all Viswamitras. But it's okay. I fell, but I learned. I learn and I get up again. Let me be Viswamitra for this life and try to. That's why we pray to Hanuman because, hey, Hanuman, you are unreachable. Please make me like you. You know.
So, kids, any questions? Like, did you learn anything useful? Will you be applying some of these principles?
Where will you apply?
Can you think of any situation where you would apply?
I just applied it to myself. Like, okay, I'm a Viswamitra, but I got some siddhis in between. But then I will grow my body big like Hanuman, only to use those siddhis only for the main purpose of life, and then retract and again come back to my nobody self. Think of myself as I'm nobody, man. I'm very little. You know, that's the very crux of Hanuman. Increasing his body.
Good.
So that's my adult lesson I learned from today's class.
Beautiful. Rhythm.
Like if you were studying for a test or you had to do like homework, but then you also could like play or like message your friends, like that's a distraction, so I would do my homework first, which would be like my main goal.
Okay, that's simple objective. I'll come to you. But you are taking a big undertaking pretty soon. Arangetram. How will you apply any of these to that situation?
Like if I had the choice to practice my dance or like play with my friends, because playing with my friends would be a distraction, and then if I play with my friends, then I wouldn't do as well in class, and then I would have to like postpone my engagement and it wouldn't be good, so I would.
It'd be good, yeah. So I know somebody who had planned an Arangetram, but then started complaining that I'm not having any fun, you're not letting me eat what I like, and you're not letting me sleep, and slowly slacked on training, slowly slacked on food, and at the end of the day the program was hopeless. Didn't do anything. That can happen, right? It's dangerous. Like Simhika sucking us from within. Yeah, Abhishta.
So like first of all,
Loud, say it loud.
First of all, like I would only apply what's like necessary if I want to accomplish a goal. I wouldn't, because like honestly, in the bigger scheme of things, there's just so much that we could do. But to achieve a particular goal, and since it's a deliberate goal, your aim should be specific too. So you wouldn't like go around getting distracted, and try to accomplish everything. Instead, you would just do what's necessary.
Wonderful. Krishna?
So if I had like one big goal and then I have smaller tasks that are really bothersome to my brain, what I would do is that I would set them on automatic mode, meaning that I would set them a certain time that is rare to be interrupted and then put them in that time, while I would focus majority of my energy, my mental energy, on the things that I have to do.
So you're talking about developing good habits as a preparatory step, and automate those things. Once habit is set, they will be taken care of.
Yes, so that I don't have to think too much about them.
That's a good strategy.
Because excessive division of the mind, when it's not automated, leads to extreme rajoguna and mental torment, another simhika in the mind.
Okay.
Except this time you see it. It's not a child.
Okay.
For me, the thing is that if I start something, I have to finish it. So most of the time, I end up not cleaning my room because if I start, then I won't. Then I have to finish it. So
That's a good quality to have.
So that comes. Sometimes it helps me. Sometimes it doesn't. So I need to use it to my advantage. I love reading. I cannot take my eyes off a book for even a single second. So I need to somehow overcome it. Like for me, that's a distraction to doing what I'm actually supposed to do.
That means you have not accepted your problem 100%.
Exactly. So I have to try to overcome.
Yeah, there is a way. You divide your goal into parts, right? Okay, I want to read this book and I have a problem where I cannot
Put the
move
book down.
to a different task unless I finish it completely. So divide your goal into parts. Okay. Practically,
Chapter 1.
practically 20 pages. If I read 20 pages, then I'm done for today. Then I have to go to the next task. So divide your goal into pieces. That will help you.
Your problem is the same like me, where I don't even go to a book. We will have extremes, right? So for me, at least read 1 page a day. So for you, at least, for you, at most 20, not more than that. For me, at least 1. So that's the solution.
I mean, then again, I'm also a fast reader, so I can finish a book in like a day. So because I read that much. And the other thing is that like I actually have an excuse to read more.
Yeah.
So that's not helping either. So basically what I have to do now is I have to like split my time in a way that I do something and I finish it,
Yeah.
but I still have time to read.
Also look at your bigger goal, right? Reading a book is a smaller goal, right? So think about it this way. Number 1, how do you split your goals? Number 2, what is the bigger goal in my life? And how is this contributing to that, right? Then you will get even more strength. You're turning your so-called weakness, which is really not a weakness, the so-called weakness into a strength. You know, okay, this is not contributing to my bigger goal. I'll leave this and I'll again focus on that.
I think in the story there is one guy who starts yoga and stays
Yeah.
there. So I think
Yes.
That
You
is
should-
a
it
siddhi.
should not be like that. Like you
We should
are
not
more
be like
interested in the yoga.
I think
You should only read the books that will contribute towards your goal, that are helping you, personally, or that
I
will
think
help
this
you
one
achieve that goal. You
even
should
she
not.
relates.
Yeah, because you should not, should not come at the
It's a
expense
good-
of doing
Good problem to have.
regular
Actually, it's
tasks.
relevant to my
If
job.
I may ask, what is
She
your
always
goal?
gets into trouble with this.
So the reason why I used the Kashi as the ultimate goal is also very symbolic. Okay, so we'll come to the meaning of Kashi at some other time.
I think
Um,
I got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Alankar.
I usually end up like after I come back from school, I always go to play with my friends in the gully, and then I come back in time for my classes, and then right after that I have to eat dinner, and then Nana's always rushing me up, so I never get time to finish my homework, and I always do turn in late work. So I need to learn how to overcome that problem.
Yeah.
So what
You,
would
you
you
have
do?
to somehow use
Reprioritize.
your abilities to plan it better.
Just reverse.
Just reverse
the
Yeah.
do homework and then maybe
play.
doing it.
So a lot of times, small tasks or failure in these small tasks is a preparation. You are actually getting a training. Alankar talked about it. So if you carefully look and plan these things, you develop good habits. Once you develop good habits, it takes a long time. But once you develop good habits, then it will be very, very well, like you will be able to handle bigger tasks in life. So there are some people who rush towards small things. And there are some people who take all the time needed to build all the strength, the training, all the necessary things, and then embark onto the task, and they will do a great job. That brings us to Vinata Kadruva's story. We'll do it next time. So we'll say that shloka a few times. So I will alter the order a little bit so that we can remember it as a shloka. Okay. यस्य त्वेतानि चत्वारि वानरेन्द्रयथा तव धृतिर्दृष्टिर्मतिर्दाक्ष्यम् स्वकर्मसु न सीदति यस्य त्वेतानि चत्वारि वानरेन्द्र यथा तव धृतिर्दृष्टिर्मतिर्दाक्ष्यम् स्वकर्मसु न सीदति यस्य त्वेतानि चत्वारि वानरेन्द्र यथा तव धृतिर्दृष्टिर्मतिर्दाक्ष्यम् स्वकर्मसु न सीदति